is going on, Crisis Actors? It is episode 970 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett, and I'm here with my guest co-host today. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, everyone. I'm Alex Ayala, or today I'm going by Lady Liberty Christmas. I'm in the studio. Thank you so much. I went with the small Santa hat the other day. Today I'm going with some lights, you know, spreading some holiday cheer.
I do like the multicolored lights as well.
Yeah.
Are you partial? Do you guys have a tree at home?
Yes, we do the multicolored lights. We add little blinkies in there as well.
You don't use the white, like just the one color lights?
No, we spread lights all around the house, but we used to have a white Christmas tree with white lights, but now that we get a real Christmas tree, we put colored lights on there.
That was going to be my next question. I was going to ask, is it a real tree?
It is a real tree, yeah. I mean, we live, you know, here in the East Coast in Maryland or West Virginia, maybe for you, and we have these beautiful trees. How can you not have a real one?
It is actually funny. Given the popularity of the Hallmark movie, there are so many Christmas tree farms around here.
There are. And you know what? We actually, this was the first year we cut down our own Christmas tree.
You didn't just go get one that was like prefab, already cut?
Nope. Usually we do that, but our kids are a little bit older now, and we were like, let's just go for the whole thing.
So what, they give you like a saw, or you bring your own saw?
No, they give you a saw. You have like a little wagon. You put the tree, you cut it down. It was funny watching Chris do it, I have to say. But because I didn't help, we just watched him do it. I was there for support. If
You're
the
like,
tree
it's his
falls,
job. It's his job.
Yeah, I get to say timber, you know, and then it comes down, put it on the wagon, and out we go.
And the kids loved it.
Kids loved it.
I mean, those are like I have so many. We had so many photos in our family, you know, in boxes, and I found these photos of us at like a pumpkin patch when we were kids, and I can just imagine me and my brother just like fighting the whole time. Like,
oh yeah,
our poor like they got us to sit still for long enough to take one photo, but otherwise my brother's 7 years older than me, so he was probably tormenting me the whole time and doing that. But those memories are important.
They are. Yeah, we do the pumpkin patch thing too. Love getting the pumpkins, and now we do the Christmas tree thing. So
that is great.
As long as we're here.
That is great.
Yeah, it's fun.
So we have like a fake tree at our place. We like it. It's, you know, we live in the second level of a house.
Yeah.
So we like, it would be a hassle to get a whole ass tree up there. But
I have nothing wrong with a fake tree, you know. I mean, I also feel like we have kids, so having a real tree is kind of a little bit more special for them. So
it's also one of those Reddit-ish online things to have like really strong opinions about whether your tree should be real or fake.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. Well, we lived in California for a while, and people don't have like, a lot of people don't have real Christmas trees because you're not really going to get like a real good Christmas tree in California.
Because they don't grow out there, right?
Well, yeah, and also forest fires, you know, people are like reluctant to cut down trees when you're already losing a bunch. So,
well, that's what it is. Guys, we are getting closer and closer to Christmas every single day. We got a bunch of stuff to get into today. Remember, guys, we will be off next week. And then the week after that, in fact, let me double check, because somebody said yesterday, I think Woden Shot in the chat said that sounds confusing. So we will be off next week from the 21st through the 27th. That's a Sunday to Saturday. And then starting on Monday, through the 28th. On Monday, the 29th, I will be back in studio. Alex said she would come back for that one. Like, you guys, you're going to come back for that one?
I would love to, as long as everyone's healthy and, you know, I'll be down. Sure.
So, and then Colonel Kurtz is going to be doing that Tuesday, and we're going to be putting out content that week. So it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. So stay tuned for all of that. And I do hope everybody does have a safe and happy Christmas this year. Merry Christmas this year. But we got a bunch of stuff to get into today. Number one, of course, being Legacy Media's ongoing death rattle continues, as now we are seeing streaming services like Netflix really, really burrow in and get down into podcasting. So we're going to talk about that. They have acquired several different, now Netflix itself has acquired the rights to stream several different podcasts from Dave Portnoy's Barstool Sports. Also, we're going to talk about they've acquired The Breakfast Club from Charlemagne the God and a bunch of other stuff. Legacy Media, as it seems, kind of becomes more and more irrelevant every day. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about, it's very much a sad trend that is going on right now. So I think we should do it earlier in the show because it really is a terrifying thing to look at. There's just been a rash of these TikTokers who are unfortunately ending their own lives, and it's very, very scary when you think about it.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I feel like every time I come on the show, we're just talking about death. I mean, maybe it's me, Brett. I don't know.
Was it Reiner on?
Yeah, it was Reiner on Monday. TikTokers today.
We don't always cover stuff like that. It is one of those things where you have to balance it out. Like sometimes if it's too much depressing news, it can take a toll on people. But we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about Meghan Markle. If you want something to laugh at, Meghan Markle is making a rom-com, or in this case, she is producing a rom-com. So we will talk about it. Is this the pivot that she really, really needs to get back in the good graces of the public? It's called The Wedding Date. It's based on a book from 2018. They don't even wait any time to like make these, to adapt books anymore now. Like they adapt stuff like instantly. I think I heard Jeremy Johns or something saying that The Housemaid is based on a book from like 2022. It's like,
yes.
So it's like immediately they buy up the rights for these.
Well, look at Wuthering Heights, right? So that's an older book, right?
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about that in our last topic today. So we got a couple other things. We're going to talk about, so yesterday we talked about slop being the word of the year from Merriam-Webster. Well, another one of the words of the year is rage bait. And it hits home to me because it feels like that's what my timeline is a lot of the time when I'm looking on X. So we're going to talk about the concept of rage bait. And I would like to maybe posit the question to both Alex and to everybody else, how you fight the urge to let your emotional centeredness be taken by online discourse. So we'll talk about that. Also, some fun at the end of the show. We're going to talk about the most anticipated movies of 2026. And if there is time, I want to talk about Patriot Games, which I just learned about before the show went on the air. Apparently, Donald Trump, he's enacting the Hunger Games right here in the United States of America. It's the end of society. It's the end of democracy as we know it. We're living in a dystopian novel.
Honestly, it might go down that way. I mean, if you don't know me, you know I'm from Inverted World Live. If you watch that show, it's about conspiracy. So we kind of, this is, I feel like up our alley here.
There you go. We got that. We got a bunch of other stuff. If you're ready to go, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go for it then. Let's talk about what's going on over at Netflix because, again, as I said before, I've been covering a lot of what's been going on right now, for instance, with the Paramount, Warner Brothers, and Netflix deal. And what it seems like we're realizing each and every day is linear television and legacy media loses more and more ground when it comes to streaming services and social media. And this is an example of something that's absolutely no different than that. So Netflix has signed a multi-year deal with Barstool Sports. That is, of course, Dave Portnoy. He's always yelling and whining on the internet these days, but he's built a very, very, very successful media empire. He's taking, Netflix is taking Pardon My Take, the Ryan Russillo podcast, and Spittin' Chicklets. I believe that's a hockey podcast, if I remember correctly, but somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. And this will all be available starting early 2026. All the episodes that are new will go on to Netflix, and then some of the past library will do so. And it kind of just made me think of, it was kind of early days when Spotify signed Joe Rogan, and they didn't even sign him away from linear television or legacy media. They just signed him from another one of these very, very popular new media sites, which is, of course, YouTube. And really what it feels like more and more every day is that it's Netflix and it's YouTube, and everybody else is playing catch up to them all the time.
Yeah, I feel like this is the direction it's been heading towards.
Yeah. So it says Netflix has gone into business with Dave Portnoy with a deal that will bring unfiltered commentary of Barstool Sports podcast personalities to viewers worldwide. Under its multi-year pact with Barstool, Netflix has exclusive rights to the video versions of a trio of digital media podcasts, Pardon My Take, the Ryan Russillo podcast, and Spittin' Chicklets. The video versions of the three Barstool shows will be available on Netflix starting in early 2026. This means full video episodes of the podcast will no longer be available on YouTube as of next year. Now, that's what they did with Joe Rogan when he signed to Spotify for his first deal. I believe that they have since gone back on that. He's not exclusive to Spotify anymore. He uploads his episodes to YouTube now as well. Netflix will launch them initially in the US, and they will be followed by additional markets. Netflix's Barstool deal covers all new episodes from the podcast as well as select library episodes from each show. The audio versions of each episode will continue to be available across all major platforms. Yes, one thing I've learned is that the audience for a video podcast is vastly different than the audience for an audio podcast.
Yeah, I'm more video based. I'm more visual, so I like the video aspect of it. My husband, Chris, he is more Spotify, Apple he wants the podcast, he wants the audio. So I guess it just depends what your taste is.
So I guess for me, most of what I watch, we had this conversation earlier, most of what I watch now is on YouTube, but I don't even watch it with the video most of the time because I'm driving.
Oh, I'll be driving and I'll have YouTube just perched up there, and I'm like slightly watching.
I wasn't going to say that. She said it first.
If there are any cops out there, don't pull me over on the way home today.
It's like, no, what you do is you open the map, like your phone's map, and then if you see somebody behind you, you quick switch over to the map.
Oh, that's cool.
But most of the stuff that I watch, like I watch what was I saying? James Romero. It's literally just him talking to a camera. Sometimes he pulls visuals up on screen, but most of the time it's just him talking to the camera.
I know I need the visual, even if it's just the person. I need the facial expressions. You know?
We've gotten. Do you guys ever get requests to put Inverted World on Spotify?
We have Inverted World on Spotify.
No, I mean
the
video.
As video. No, I have not gotten those requests. No,
we've gotten some requests to do PCC as video on Spotify.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, like our audience for for audio podcasts it's pretty different. Like it's more consistent.
Right.
At least that's what it's felt like to me. Like our videos, you can have some that hit, some that miss. You have some episodes that do well. Right now isn't a good time to gauge that for us because the show has been it's been in tumult lately.
Yeah.
Like things have been up and down. And things haven't been as consistent. But if you go back and you look at the numbers, I would say the Spotify numbers for us were a lot more consistent across the board.
Yeah, I guess people like to listen to podcasts as they're like driving or running or whatever they do,
Yeah. So, but here's the thing, guys. It's not just them. They're also getting into a bunch of other podcasts. It says it's in the latest move from Netflix to bulk up its podcast programming lineup. To date, the company has cut 2 other licensing deals to bring video podcasts to its subscribers, with Spotify for the show The Bill Simmons Podcast and The Rewatchables with iHeartMedia, as well as 15 other podcasts, including radio talk show The Breakfast Club, hosted by Charlemagne the God. Obviously, that has been going on that's a legacy in media lately. It's been going on for a very, very long time. They put their announcement out for this earlier this week. But it's not just that, guys. It's not just the podcasting sphere that spells the death knell for Hollywood or the death knell for traditional media. You look at this announcement, guys, that the Oscars are bolting from ABC. They've been with them, I believe, since like 76. The Oscars have been on ABC. So yeah, it says, in news that will send shockwaves across the entertainment industry, the Oscar ceremony, which has aired on ABC since 1976, will be moving to YouTube starting in 2029 and will be broadcast by the streamer through at least 2033. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts announced this on Wednesday. Disney-owned Alphabet Network will continue to air the Oscars along with the world's most watched telecast through the 100th edition of the award show in 2028. So that's why they had the licensing deal, and that probably ran all the way through 2028 through the 100th edition of the episode or of the show. Do you ever watch the Oscars? You guys are movie people, so do you watch the Oscars?
We used to watch the Oscars all the time, but we don't have ABC, so we don't watch it anymore.
Well, they put it on Hulu.
Yeah, no, don't have that one either. We maybe I can't remember the last time we watched it, honestly. And you know what? It goes on for too long, in my opinion. So
they're all
just kind of over it now.
They're all too long.
And you know what? I always just get mad anyway because they never picked the right movie for Best Picture. So yeah.
Oh, what was the last one you saw that really annoyed you when they did that?
It annoys me every year. I can't even remember what last year was at this point.
I think the most egregious one people say recently is like when The Revenant won, and it was like the one time Leo shouldn't have won.
No, he should have won for Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, that's what everybody was saying. There's more indications that the streaming services and social media have made their inroads elsewhere as well. I thought this was really interesting. Instagram has launched Instagram for TV, allowing you to watch reels while you're like watching on your television, which is the last thing we need as a society.
True.
Like, you said you're a TikTok fan, right?
Yeah, I do like TikTok.
So would you, like, if they had TikTok, is TikTok available for TV?
I don't want TikTok on TV. You know, we have YouTube on TV, and I probably shouldn't have YouTube on TV because then my kids get in that trap of, like, they want to watch stuff on YouTube, and YouTube is like, it's terrible. But yeah, I don't know.
Do you watch a lot of stuff, like a lot of YouTube on TV at home?
No.
Like, again, that's another one where it feels like it's made to be watched on the go as opposed to being watched at home when I'm static. There have been a couple of times where I've put on something from YouTube. One thing that people don't realize, YouTube actually has a very, very extensive movie collection.
Well, the thing is, you have to subscribe. Do you know, like, to watch YouTube Live is $80 a month.
Oh, no, they have, like, movies section not tied to
But then
YouTube
do you have
Live.
to go through the ads?
I don't know. I have premium, so I don't know if there's ads on there.
So
I just know that a bunch of them are labeled as free, so you can watch a lot of movies on there.
Yeah.
And people are just moving away from traditional TV.
We have a lot of movies that we just collect. Chris collects 4K Criterion, so we just kind of, if we want to rewatch. Yeah, he's one of those. He's one of those. So if we want to watch something that we want to watch, then we probably have it, or we have to just find it on whatever we're paying to stream. So
do you think as the generations go on, like, when do you think TV, like, disappears from the public discussion?
When boomers go.
Think so?
Yeah.
Like,
boomers are really, I mean, who really has cable if you're not a boomer?
It's the thing that I'm always like, why is Trump talking about Jimmy Kimmel? Like, if you just stopped talking about him, nobody would know these people exist anymore, because nobody other than boomers are watching those shows.
Sometimes it would be nice to have cable to just kind of like browse and like put on whatever background noise instead of just like sitting down and being like, now I have to figure out what I'm going to stream.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, that's half the battle for most people. Is
yeah,
sitting
exactly.
there. I go through phases where I've actually found that I tie it to like how much time I'm spending on my phone, which tends to make me more scatterbrained.
Yeah.
Then when I get home and try to find something to watch, I can't find anything.
If I really can't, recently I've been putting Friends back on.
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't know.
But
it's
that's
just something.
That's what I do, though, most of the time, is I put on something that I've seen a bunch of times and just let it play in the background. But luckily, my wife is very good about, she wants to watch something and she wants to watch it from beginning to end.
Yeah.
So in my desire to not make her life more difficult, I'm like, okay, tonight we're going to watch just this show. We'll watch a bunch of episodes tomorrow. Maybe we'll watch the same show. Maybe we will watch something different. But I try to be consistent, because otherwise she comes in, she's like, are you watching another show?
This is why I feel like it might be good that they're moving into putting podcasts onto Netflix, because now that's good background noise for you, or you could be cleaning your house watching podcasts while it's on Netflix.
So we got 20 here from Pop Culture Junkie. Says a lot of, is it yakety yak among my working and retired broadcast pals about the YouTube Oscar deal. It's definitely one of those plant the flag acquisitions that they can build a lot of other content around due to the access. Yeah, it's going to be hilarious when people start getting like content strikes on their channel for reviewing the Oscars, because they're going to watch it on YouTube and then get struck down by the channel. Somebody requested that we react to the movie Digger, the movie from the new Tom Cruise movie.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like Warner Brothers is one of the most litigious. They will strike down anything that you put out that's reacting to their content.
Yeah,
so
I wonder how they are going to handle that now that you're going to have the Oscars on there.
Yeah. And I mean, that's one of the things, right? Like, I think we ended up getting copyright claimed and took down for the Ricky Gervais speech a couple of times when we replayed it at some point.
Well, what's even more annoying is you can't even play it without music, because they'll even strike that.
Yes.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's very, very, very frustrating. So, look, guys, I think every day we learn a little bit more about just how much the legacy media is losing in this battle against the new streaming outlets, whether it's streaming services. That's all going on. You should check out my video tonight about Warner Brothers and Netflix and the ongoing battle for them.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, someone on Rumble actually said, the local Wendigo, they said, I use Brave to watch YouTube. No ads, and I can have my screen off. Good to know.
There you go.
Okay.
See, but I never, because the majority of the YouTube content I watch is on my phone, and it's usually I'm listening to it because it's either in my pocket or I'm in my car.
Right.
Like, I don't watch a lot of YouTube at home. All right, let's move on. Guys, this story is, I said we had to get to this one early because this story it's kind of scary and it's kind of depressing, but it's also very indicative of the time that we live in. There was just a social media ban put in place in Australia, and people are wondering whether that was a good idea or not. People are questioning about, what does that say about freedom if people don't even have access to these programs? Well, a lot of people would say that children probably shouldn't have access to social media at all. And when you see stories like this, you have to wonder if they are right. There has been a rash of TikTok influencers who have either committed suicide or attempted to commit suicide in a very, very short period of time. I have no doubt that this video is going to get demonetized because I just said that word. But let's look at this case. So influencer Tucker, is it Janelle, posted about his life being precious in his final TikTok before he committed suicide. So there are more than one here. We've got Tucker Janelle, Riziki, is it Anair?
Anair, I don't know.
And then And Hamzat Habib. I'm sorry about the pronunciation of these names, guys, but Tucker was suicide by hanging. Riziki was suicide by hanging live while on stream.
That's right.
And then Peller, who is that's the name of the third account, he attempted to commit suicide by crashing his car. So let's look at this case first. It says influencer Tucker Janelle died by suicide at his residence in Los Angeles on December 11th. The content creator's final TikTok post used an audio that said life is precious as he reflected on the past year. Tucker, who had a combined following of roughly 3 million subscribers or followers across TikTok and Instagram, was known online for videos about his life and often including his siblings. Yeah, he was part of Hustle House, which is over 1 million followers on TikTok. That account just on its own,
which you could still see his account on TikTok and on Instagram.
And then we have this case here of this woman where it says fans allege that she committed suicide due to bullying. They're investigating the death after numerous reports surfaced that she died by suicide. The Montgomery Police Department in Alabama says they are investigating. A landslide of concerned social media users have reported it appears she ended her life during a live stream on TikTok after being subject to constant bullying. Though police were unable to confirm that this to TMZ on Wednesday, many of her loved ones have declined to comment. She had previously spoken out about her mental health struggles over the years. She was a law student at the Illinois Institute of Technology and heavily involved in her local ministry. She was known for her close relationship with her service dog, Chief. What do you think?
I mean, could you imagine watching that stream?
It's just unbelievable.
I mean, I don't really know what to say.
One of the things that I was seeing in some of the comments, they said people were encouraging her to do it. Like,
I did see another TikTok account saying that there were 3 specific creators that were in her chats often bullying her.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing though. So like we get comments on our videos or we get comments in our live streams and people can be pretty mean. And for the most part, you do have to learn to let it roll off your back. But I kind of don't believe anybody that says it just doesn't bother them at all.
That's Shane Cashman. I'm calling you out right now.
But not even that. Like, even if that's true, if it's true that it doesn't bother you at all, I actually wonder if that's a good thing. Like, I wonder if it's a good thing that you can be so calloused to everything that people say about you that it has to affect other aspects of your life.
I wonder.
Like,
I don't know. I mean, it bothers me. You know, I try not to take those things personally. I think it was who is a creator of Curb Your Enthusiasm? Larry David. Larry David was the one who's like, you could be in a baseball stadium and then like 1,000 fans are like, you're amazing, you're great. And then one guy's like, you're a D, you know? And then he's like, that's the one thing I remember.
But that's the thing, people, they count on that.
Yeah.
Like, so the people who really, really live to kind of, need at you and push at you and try to get under your skin. That's why the worst thing you can do is respond most of the time. One of the biggest like false dichotomies though, one of the worst things is when people are like pretending that they don't care, but then they have to post about how they don't care. I'm like, is that really true?
But also, if you're getting bullied on TikTok, why are you doing TikTok? I mean, you can't help yourself, or
I mean, I've said that about doing this show. I'm like, look, I'm in general not a very public person. I'm a pretty private person. So, but at the same time, I understand that the job that I have requires me to do that. So when people want to say rude things or mean things, I'm like, look, that's just part of my job. That's fine. The people who are really, really deep into it will say, at least they're talking about me. And I actually think that ends up being a recipe for kind of a heartless world where the most competent content creators in this space will be the ones who can create whatever they want and not care whether you like it or not, which means that there's a certain level of heartlessness that is required to be successful.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can't either, but
there was this other case. So a Lagos-based TikTok star live streamer known as Peller has been hospitalized after intentionally crashing his car during a live broadcast on an expressway. Punch Metro learned that the incident unfolded on Sunday during a viral live stream he titled R.I.P. Peller.
Oh boy.
Okay. During the live stream, Peller said, so it says, Peller, who was alone in his newly purchased Mercedes-Benz, showed signs of distress while also speaking emotionally on a phone call, reportedly with his girlfriend, amid speculation of a breakup. During the live stream, he said, I will use this car and have an accident right now, followed by, I'm scared, and I'm scared. In another shocking moment, he reportedly stated, "If you leave me, people will mock me. Thank you. I'm going to off myself."
Unalive, yeah.
And but that's the crux of it, right? He's now, his image is everything, and he's worried about being mocked for this, but you've made your whole life public.
Yeah. I mean, I guess at a certain point, you just don't know when to stop.
What do you mean?
Like, you know, stop creating, stop putting yourself out there, stop being public, you know, especially if you have mental health. I mean, it's like a battle within yourself, you know?
Well, I mean, especially if it's your livelihood.
Right.
If you make a living doing it, and I guess in this space, the best transition would be to go into working behind the scenes.
Right.
Like if it really bothers you, what people say, and it gets to you too much. I mean, the best thing that you can do, it's a little bit difficult because oftentimes you need to gauge your audience to know what things are working and what ones aren't. But the best thing you can do if that's not a problem is to just not read the comments, because if it gets to you, if it's going to burrow in the back of your brain and it's going to cause a problem, then you're kind of giving yourself undue stress for something that's really, in the end, you're never going to change everyone's mind. You're never going to get rid of the people who are going to say things to be mean just because they can. And it's very hard sometimes to differentiate between real, honest criticism and somebody who's just saying something mean just to be mean. Right.
I mean, I think some people, you know, who do this job, they let the demons take over.
What do you mean? Well, what do you mean?
They're not mentally strong enough. You know, they don't know that they're not strong enough to do that, you know, because you do have to have a backbone. You have to be hard, tough-skinned, you know. Yeah.
You have to be willing to kind of stand up for yourself and throw it back out there.
Exactly.
But that's the thing. A lot of times you can't do that endlessly. Like, you're one person facing down 50 to an infinite number of people that may have something awful to say about you. If you're pushing back on everyone, that's going to take up a bunch of your time, and it's going to darken your life.
Well, some people, I mean, and that's the difference, like with if you're struggling with mental health or not, because like there are TikTok creators I see that will take a break, and they'll, you know, they have a huge following. They'll say, like someone like Elise Myers, you know, she took a break for a while. She was like, I can't deal with it. You know, I think Rachel, Miss Rachel, she did the same thing maybe.
But then my guess is what people said is like, your job is easy. Why are you taking a break?
Right.
Like, this is stupid.
Right.
And I've always made that joke here as well. I said, the one thing that you give up when you get to do a job like this, which is one of the coolest jobs you could ever have in the world, to find interesting stuff, or in this case, depressing stuff that you might want to talk about and do it for work, is that you give up the right to be like, my job sucks.
Right.
You do. Like, because it's never going to resonate with the blue collar person who swings a hammer or anybody like that. They're going to say, then go get a real job.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to say, you don't have a job at all.
I think also, though, sometimes people, like, you know, someone like Michaela Nagaro, she's like a makeup influencer. You know, maybe she didn't know that she was going to start doing a TikTok and then become so famous. And then how do you handle that?
Yeah. Do you think that that's one of those things where, as new generations come in, because that's now what they're saying is that people don't want to be astronauts anymore. They want to be influencers.
Well, there's no encouragement to do so. I mean, and think about how many people, especially millennials, right, were told to go to college, get a degree, and then we're left with, like, we can't even get real jobs, you know? So what's going to happen with Gen Z? And, you know, and they are influenced to see that, like, oh, I can do that, you know? I could do what those influencers are doing. I could do that too. Why go get a degree if I can't even get hired anywhere after anyway?
Yeah, and most of the people that I've found that end up being successful in this space, they have something they're really passionate about, and they start making that content in their own time, and then it blows up into something else. It doesn't ever seem, very rarely has it ever seemed to me, at least the people that I've ever followed, where they meant to do it for a living. We're like, I'm going to go out, I'm going to make this a career. No, they started out, they had something that they cared about so much that when they weren't at work, that's what they were making content about.
Yeah.
But then with these younger influencers, first of all, I mean, Tucker, he was in his early 30s. It's just mental health is a discussion that a lot of people have. And I do think that it kind of falls in the same category as the celebrities. So this is happening when people are talking about Rob Reiner's son, which by the way, I accidentally in my haste the other day typed Ron Reiner on Rumble. I'm not going to live that one down. I fixed it. But the point is, they're like, well, what did they have to worry about? He was the son of millionaires. Like, how bad could his life have been?
Oh my
or
God,
they wonder,
so much.
or they wonder why actors end up with drug addictions and things like that. a lot of times I would posit that it's kind of the same thing, whereas they're dealing with their inability to handle public perception, and they kind of cope in whatever way they can because they are so emotionally frontal, meaning that they kind of wear their hearts on their sleeves. A lot of actors do, because that's how they access the way they think and feel so that they can embody other characters. So then, no wonder they end up in the position they're in. Now, that's not to say that that's something that should be just accepted. You shouldn't encourage people to fall into bad habits or to be bad role models, but it is one of those things where I feel like the thing that we have to accept is that most people are going to give you a callous response to that. They're going to say, look, not my problem, not my business. Yeah. And they don't really have a whole lot of empathy for people in those situations because they don't see them a lot of times as worthy of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe the only thing we can do is, turn off the internet.
I mean, I feel that way. Sometimes.
I do feel like that
I feel
too.
like, and to my own detriment, like I do spend too much time online. Like at night, I can gauge pretty well. Like if we're on a typical night, I get home 7:30, eat, shower, and then we're like, sometimes not lately, I've been recording videos in my free time, like extra videos at home. So that way when I come into work the next day, I can get them all uploaded and ready, and I don't have to spend I can do more research at home, and it's kind of nice. But then we settle in and we watch TV or something on a school night, on a work night. And depending on how much time I'm spending on my phone, it absolutely affects my mood. If I can set my phone down and pay attention to whatever is on screen, or if my wife is doing something and we're talking and I can set my phone down, and she's very good about trying to like remind me. She's like, it's going to get to you if you sit there too long. And it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative content. If I'm on X, it's depressing. People suck.
Right.
But if I'm on Instagram, the stuff I'm watching tends to make me laugh, but it's not a good type of laughter. I posit. Not for hours on end. You're not designed to sit there with this content and just scroll. And the internet is just it's a bad place.
Yeah, I do find myself being like, okay, I'm on TikTok, and I get that that I get hopped up on the adrenaline of like TikTok, and I'm laughing, having a good time. Like, okay, I'm enough. It's enough now, And then I'll go onto Instagram, and then from Instagram, it's like, okay, I'll go check X, and then you're just going social media platform to social media platform, and that's when it's like, okay, this is too much.
So, and that's just the consumer perspective of it. Yeah. From the creator perspective of it, like I can't imagine being in the position that they're in.
No, it's a lot.
All right, you know what? That was enough as far as depressing stuff, okay? It was depressing. I do think that, people kind of underestimate how mean people can be to these TikTokers or to people on these platforms. So my heart goes out to their families, absolutely. Like, I can't imagine going through that. That's so much in such a short period of time. But how about we do cringe and cue of the day? And you submitted a cringe today.
All right. I'm the new Mary? No, I'm just kidding. Never can be.
This is creepy.
Yeah, this is creepy.
This is creepy. So it says a Chinese startup builds a device that will help in, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen, long distance kissing. Let's we have to mute it because we're gonna get copyright. But let's see.
Just that image
alone. that is creepy.
Oh boy. What? How does that even?
It's from the makers of Fleshlight.
Okay.
That is.
Okay, so they're kissing, but can you really? So you think you're feeling it? It's just like a pulsating.
So I thought the idea was is the idea that they're supposed to be like somebody that you're kissing on the screen?
Yeah.
Like your long distance boyfriend or girlfriend is on the other end on the screen.
Yeah. But I mean, are we getting satisfaction from that?
That's the scary thing about it is like we're just moving closer and closer into that territory where like nobody wants to connect anywhere. So, ugh. All right,
you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. Cue of the day. We do have one here. This one is from Daniel F. Henry. Our new kittens. Aw, look at those things.
So
I see both of them there. One of them looks like it's sleeping. It's Ash and Cinder. Those are good names.
That's a good name for a cat.
Those are very good names. All right, let's move on. Let's laugh at Meghan Markle a little bit. First things first. So Meghan Markle.
Wait, back to cringe?
Yeah,
Okay.
basically we're going back to cringe, ladies and gentlemen. So Meghan Markle had a whole hullabaloo going around with her most recent Netflix special for Christmas. People spotted some irregularities in that special by way of her dog that had since passed like last January. And because people hate her so much, they kind of lit her up for that. And she can never seem to win, but she seems to have found herself on a new path to try and win back the public trust. And it looks like the path forward for her is to get into producing rom-coms. So would you watch a Meghan Markle rom-com?
Probably, not gonna lie. Only because I like rom-coms. Not really because of Meghan Markle, but also I was confused because it's called The Wedding Date. It's actually based off of a novel, but there is already a movie called The Wedding Date with Deborah Messing and Dermot Mulroney from, I think it was like 2005, and I love that movie. And it's basically the same concept, except this one will be gender swapped. So.
Well, it says this one's based off a book.
Yes.
It says the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are set to produce. That's I can't believe I said that without screwing it up. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are set to produce the film adaptation of Jasmine Guillory's 2018 bestseller, The Wedding Date, for Netflix through their Archwell production company alongside Tracy Ryerson. Tracy Oliver, who broke records in 2017's Girls Trip to become the first black woman to write a film that grossed over $100 million at the box office, will adapt the book, which was first in a series of 6 books. It follows a woman who agrees to go to a wedding with a man she meets while stuck in an elevator. Well, we're just predictive programming and getting women to make bad decisions. It seems like a bad idea. News of Meghan and Harry's latest project comes after the Suits alum announced that they were continuing their working relationship. No, that's what she is. Did you ever watch Suits?
Yeah, I did. I love Suits.
Suits is fantastic.
I didn't watch it for her, but I do love Suits. Yeah.
I mean, she was good in that though, but she wasn't a star.
Right.
Like she's like it was.
Her character was equally as annoying as she is in real life.
I mean, I didn't. So upon rewatching, I did notice that, especially in the pilot. She's very,
like,
very.
You have to be on. Like everything was like on. She's like, just shush.
Like she says something really annoying to Mike, like the moment they meet. And he's the most like timid character. Mike is so timid that it's like, why are you being a dick to him?
Right.
It was. She's very annoying. News of their latest project comes after the Suits alum announced that they were continuing their work with Netflix, which has included her lifestyle series With Love, Meghan, their docu-series Harry and Meghan, and Polo, as well as her As Ever product line. I've kind of come to the conclusion that she's in an industry that she's kind of trying to manufacture her identity around, meaning that I don't actually believe that she likes cooking. I don't actually believe that she likes the homemaking aesthetic. I think she looked at like the cherry-picked industries that women really succeed in.
Why didn't she stay with acting?
I mean, I don't know if it was that. Would that be one of those things where it was seen beneath somebody married to a royal to be an actor?
I mean, I think she's willing to do really anything. So
the likes of like Martha Stewart or I guess a Rachel Ray, or even these days
she was trying to be more highbrow.
Yeah, or even these days Tiffany Thiessen. Like she does cooking, she does vlogging with her kitchen stuff. Like you can tell pretty quickly when somebody doesn't actually care about the thing that they're trying to do. And most of the time today, I feel like most people consider authenticity a form of currency. Like in a world full of fake people, the idea that somebody can be authentic around you and show you who they really are. I feel like for a while that got misread as like people who are willing to be edgy. Like if you were willing to say things that might get you in trouble, that was somehow perceived as authentic. But since you could understand that people could get a boost artificially from saying things that are shocking, even if they don't believe them, that's not authentic. That's just BS.
Yeah, maybe it was just one of those things where she just went too far and now she's kind of stuck being inauthentic, because like how do you take it back?
Well, there was a video or a photo of her like using a utensil wrong in one of them, and it's like, look, if Martha Stewart got caught using the wrong stuff while baking, that's an actual scandal, because Martha Stewart's awesome. I don't know anybody that doesn't love Martha Stewart.
But also, what's his relationship with Meghan Markle and Netflix?
I mean, they've had a deal with Netflix for like 5 years now.
Yeah, so something. I mean, they love her. They keep giving her projects to do. I wonder if she'll cast herself.
Well, the other thing was like when she was doing her podcast, basically, like they basically hired her, like the podcast platform hired her to do her show. And then she basically went to them and was like, so what should it be about? And they're like, we hired you to produce the podcast. You tell us what it's supposed to be about. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It would be like if Tim was to come on and be like, what should we talk about? No, it's your job to know what you're going to talk about. And for her, I do believe that she needs to go through a villain arc. I think that she should be intentionally mean. And she should start leaning into the heel persona that she's already given by the general public.
I mean, I'd be down for that.
Like all the royal coverage I see around her pits her against who's the other Kate, the other
Kate,
royal.
Yeah.
Like it all pits
Middleton.
the two against each other, and they should just do that.
Yeah.
Be a bad guy.
Yeah.
Do you watch any creators that make any content that's kind of like that leans into being like, I guess, the female version of edgy?
Well, I'm gonna think about that, but she does remind me of also Ilaria Baldwin.
Yes. They can have a podcast together.
They should.
And
be hateful together. Well, but Ilaria at least leans into some of it.
I will not call her that. Hilaria.
I actually don't mind her content. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind.
What does she make?
She mostly does like fitness stuff, you know. It's a little cringe, but it's fine. I don't mind watching her. But just in the same way I watch Meghan Markle. Like I watch it like this. Like, you know, like
Do you like cringe?
I do. I don't mind cringe. It depends what kind of cringe, I think. I think it really depends.
What is the type of cringe that you don't like?
I don't know. Like, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube. Like, if I put it, I'm like, oh god, that's cringe. I don't know. I don't know.
I will not watch poor singing performances.
Oh yeah, we don't like that.
I hate that.
Yeah, The Voice, like all those kinds of shows too. No, I cannot do that. American Idol, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Even Dancing with the Stars is a little cringe to me. I don't get it.
Wait, do you watch it?
No, I do not.
No.
Well, I don't have cable. But.
Meghan Markle would benefit from a personality shift, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you can have Taylor Swift fans would call it an era. She could just go into her villain era and start making content that's intentionally makes her look mean or bad, like a Cruella de Vil arc.
Well, going back to Hilaria Baldwin for a minute, she actually, there's content creators that are like known for like, you know, making fun, like impersonating, and she's leaned into it. Like she's joined those content creators and it, you know, in the impersonating of her, you know,
that's a good thing.
That is a good thing, and I think that is a good image for her, and I think maybe Meghan Markle should probably do the same.
Maybe the best thing you could say is like she needs to be able to learn to laugh at herself,
right?
Like to be able to be in on the joke. Did you see the photos? We talked about it. We talked about it yesterday. Did Did you see the photos that Vanity Fair posted of the Trump administration?
Yes.
Okay, Marco Rubio made that picture his profile picture, and that's the only thing that you can do to diffuse that type of situation. The same thing happened. When South Park did their episode around Kristi Noem, where they made fun of Kristi Noem, she originally got pissed. And I was like, no,
you can't get mad.
You can't do that. And then some staffer who is probably 20 years old and smart about how the internet works told her, you can't do that. You got to lean into it. So she did the same thing. She made her profile picture the South Park picture.
Yeah.
And that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Like you have to be able to lean into it. You have to be able to laugh at yourself. You have to be able to take the joke, because all it does is put a target on your back if you don't.
Right. Yeah. Meghan Markle, I don't think has any. I think she's humorless.
And then people, I believe, at least in my opinion, they kind of clock humorlessness as like being frigid with her husband, and they probably have like a bad relationship and stuff like that. They imagine it's the type of thing where he can't say anything for fear of being yelled at by her.
She has him in a chokehold.
She needs to learn to laugh at herself, and it would actually probably benefit all aspects of her career and her relationship.
I don't know if these people know how to just be themselves.
Well, it's another part of the legacy media apparatus, right? So the same thing is true of like the Obamas have their own Netflix deal.
Yeah.
Right. They have their own Netflix deal. We even saw Melania is going to have she's got her Amazon documentary coming out from Brett Ratner of all people. But you have to be able to laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I do want to see Meghan Markle become a villain, maybe go in and do something with Catherine Hahn, because Catherine Hahn plays a great villain in Agatha as Agatha Harkness from Marvel, and we need to see Meghan Markle just become a bad guy.
What was the actress you just said? Catherine Hahn?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. I love her.
Wait, what do you like her in? She got big. She's a pretty big actress now.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen her in, like, everything. She pops up. She used to pop up in, like, everything. Like, oh, that's that woman. That's that woman. And now she just did that. Seth Rogen.
Studio?
Yeah, the studio.
She's
She's so funny in that.
She's
oh my God.
she goes all the way back to like the early 2000s. She was in Crossing Jordan with Jill Hennessy in like 2004.
I don't even know what that is.
It was like a medical procedural on regular.
She had
television.
her own TV series. I forget what it was called. I forget what it was called. She was in Transparent, which was actually a really great show back during that time. Afternoon Delight. She's known for that.
Yep,
but
she's good. Like she's
great.
She's got that unique. In fact, you know
Bad Moms Christmas also really funny.
We need her to give a charisma transplant to Meghan Markle because she does have that. If anybody here watched Agatha, which I'm sure none of them but me did, she has this very unique type of evil charisma. She needs to teach that charisma to Meghan Markle.
Catherine Hahn should have her own show where it's like personality makeover.
Yes,
that'd be great.
That would
Bring
be
on
great.
Meghan Markle, Ilaria Baldwin, whoever else we can.
Well, I mean, it sounds
Blake
like
Lively, maybe.
She can't laugh at herself either.
No, she can't.
Those might be the top three that don't know how to actually laugh at themselves and diffuse the hatred that comes their way.
That's right.
That's true. All right. That's it. I think we just solved all their problems. They need to go ahead and
Phew,
figure that
I did
out.
something today.
All right. So, guys, yesterday we talked about Merriam-Webster. Their 2025 word of the year was slop. And obviously, we talk a lot about slop on this channel because I believe that most people, if I'm being honest, most people say they want new movies. I don't believe that is actually true. I believe most people, what they want is slop because that's the stuff that ever ends up actually making money at the box office. Now, that is kind of intertwined with the idea of AI slop, which is most of what you're getting as far as short form content this year. But when we talk about the Oxford Dictionary word of the year in the year 2025, their word of the year was rage bait. Rage bait is defined as online content deliberately designed to elicit anger or outrage by being frustrating, provocative, or offensive, typically posted in order to increase traffic or engagement with a particular web page or social media content. A lot of people would tell you that that's exactly what happened when X monetized. Is that the first thing people started doing was posting content that they knew was going to upset people. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier, which is that even authenticity being at a premium, like you pay for authenticity for people, there's also a certain sector of the population where it's financially beneficial to not care what you say as long as it elicits a reaction from somebody.
That's true. People just want to have the argument. You should honestly, instead of X or Twitter, it should be called rage bait.
Yeah. Yep. With the 2025's news cycle dominated by social unrest, debates about the regulation of online content, and concerns over digital well-being, our experts noticed that the use of rage bait this year has evolved to signal a deeper shift in how we talk about attention, both how it is given and how it is sought after. Engagement and ethics online. The word has tripled in usage in the last 12 months. Rage bait was first used online in a posting on Usenet in 2002 as a way to designate a particular type of driver reaction to being flashed at by another driver requesting to pass them. So I'm guessing like headlights.
Okay.
And then you're like, you want to go around them? Mm-hmm. Introducing the idea of deliberate agitation, the word then evolved into new internet slang used to describe viral tweets, often to critique entire networks of content that determine what is posted online, like platforms, creators, and trends. Since then, it has become a shorthand for content designed to elicit anger by being frustrating, offensive, or deliberately divisive in nature, and a mainstream term referenced in newsrooms across the world as discourse amongst content creators. It's also a proven tactic to drive engagement, commonly seen in performative politics. As social media algorithms began to reward more provocative content, this has developed into practices such as rage farming, which is more consistently applied as a more consistently applied attempt to manipulate reactions and to build anger and engagement over time by seeding content with rage bait, particularly in the form of deliberate misinformation or conspiracy theory-based material. What do you think?
What do I think? I mean, I don't love these slang words so much. It's not not really for me. I think someone said in the chat, fatigue is the word of the year.
We did posit that maybe that would. I think that one might be stuck on X, if I'm being honest. That one's got some racial connotations, and I think that one hangs out on X. I've got some examples of rage baits, not the greatest ones, but here's the problem. It took me 2 seconds to find a couple of instances of rage baits that are clearly designed to drive traffic online. This is from somebody who said Tomb Raider is an IP designed for teenage boys. It's not for grown women. It's not for queer folks like myself. It's not even for grown-ass men. Lara Croft is a character designed for the sole purpose of luring males aged 16 to 21 into buying a video game. And then this was somebody's response. And they quote tweeted it so they can make it their own tweet. Worst take yet. She's a queer icon and she'll always be. 90% of the fan base is LGBTQA+, and she's inspired millions of women, including kid female gamers across the globe. In a world designed specifically for male audiences, she broke every single barrier, and she's still thriving. Calling Lara Croft a 90% LGBTQ fan base is very clearly designed to drive engagement.
Yeah.
It's what is your favorite movie? Actually, you know what? We're gonna save that. So, you mentioned Hilaria Baldwin.
Yes.
It would be like somebody saying Hilaria Baldwin is a bastion of public discourse, and
I mean, rage bait is basically just take the opposite opinion.
Yeah.
Just disagree. Just have the opposite opinion.
I like this one. You're sick if you find Sydney Sweeney attractive.
I find Sydney Sweeney attractive.
So, and then basically everybody quote tweeted it and said, I have an infection. And then this is another one of my favorites. If you remember this image of Henry Cavill from Man of Steel, it says, men, this is literally all we want. I'm going to make this bigger so you can understand what they're saying. Men, this is literally all we want. A little body and facial hair, a little muscle, a little fat. It's that simple.
Oh, it's that simple.
It's just they want a dad bod.
Oh my God.
They want a dad bod.
There's that TikToker influencer. Okay, this is kind of rage bait. She does rage bait. She's always she was the one who was posting about like she was a serial dater.
Okay.
Her name's Danielle. She's a serial dater. She was every TikTok was like dating someone new, something different, something new guy, new this. And then she found the love of her life. It's and she was, waiting for him to ask to be his girlfriend. And then she was like, he's going to ask me tonight. And then she ghosted everybody for a couple of months,
Wait, what why? Because he didn't ask?
Because that's what everyone thought, It's like, everyone thought that that's probably what would happen, that it didn't happen. They broke up, this and that. No, but then she came back and now they're in this relationship and she did a whole TikTok that's just like, it's so cringe where, he's sitting down with her and now you finally know for sure that this is the guy that everyone thought that she was dating. And I don't know. I guess that's kind of part of rage baiting.
It's one of those things where it takes so we've talked about it in the context of like the Paul brothers. Logan and Jake Paul, I don't necessarily call it rage bait, but they are the type of people that they're willing to be misunderstood.
Well, like Andrew Tate or Myron Gaines, those are another two examples.
I mean, those are like, again, I'm like, I'll never forget the person who's like Brett's love of Andrew Tate. I'm like, I don't ever think of Andrew Tate.
You can't say anything because people will just either misinterpret it or God forbid, you're just like, well, I don't have a problem with that.
But no, but here's the thing. That's my point. Most people, they don't like being misunderstood.
Right.
They don't like the idea of somebody taking the least charitable idea or definition of what they meant by something. And that's 90% of internet discourse is people sitting there and saying, so what you're actually saying is... But most people don't want that. Most people don't want to be misinterpreted. But the ones who are the most successful online are willing to just say whatever it takes to get engagement, and then the chips fall where they may, and they don't care. I hate that.
Yeah.
Like it's diametric. Like I myself am diametrically opposed to like that view of the world because I feel like it chips away at your soul.
Well, and it's dishonest.
Well,
and again, it goes back into that not being authentic.
So how do you fight it? Like, how do you fight that type of so people
don't
have said
take the bait.
Well, no, I'm saying like how like on a larger scale. So people have said that they need to remove monetization from X.
Okay.
What do you think?
Sure.
Think that that's a good idea?
Because you think people will change who they are?
No, people will. That rage bait content will be less incentivized if there's no financial gain to post it.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Take it away.
But then what do they? I also think it's like it's your responsibility to like not let it get to you. So this is the type of thing where like it's like the comment who says whenever somebody reads something like that, somebody responds, "That's bait." It's your job to not let it bother you.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a hard time like asking these platforms to stop doing what they're doing when it's my responsibility whenever I start reading. And this happens to me. So usually it happens if I fall into the trap, and I'm very good about this these days. I do not get up and look at my phone. I get up and start my day, and I try to not look at my phone until I get into work, other than to see if I have any urgent messages. But I don't get up. I used to get into that bad habit where I would get up and I would scroll X before I got out of bed, usually under the guise of like, what's the big story today? Maybe I can look for it for work.
Sure.
Well, that can keep until I get into the office that day. But otherwise, you end up on the following side of, or I'm sorry, the For You page on Twitter. And I've been seeing these posts a lot more lately. I think I mentioned this the other day, which was that people will say, have you noticed how angry the For You page makes you? Because it's somebody, maybe it's rage bait, maybe they just have views that are completely the opposite of yours. But it's designed to make you angry because it's designed to keep you on the platform.
Or maybe we should just not have monetization at all. And I hate to say that because we do work in a job where monetization means something, right? So, but at the same time, like maybe then less TikTokers are going to commit or unalive themselves.
Oh, but the thing is, like, so much of like, I'm actually jealous of the creators who they create solely in the space of like positivity. So much of what we do here, and I do believe it's necessary, and I do enjoy it, which is to critique.
Sure.
Like if I want to critique Meghan Markle making a rom-com, though we probably do need more rom-coms. The world could use more good rom-coms these days.
Maybe less Meghan Markle,
but it takes a toll after a while.
Yeah.
It takes a toll on you mentally to do that all the time. But the creators who are doing stuff where they're in their own lane, they're making their own stuff, it's mostly positive, that's a different type of person who goes on to that content and hates it. Somebody comes on our content and doesn't like it. It makes perfect sense to me. I get it. Like, right. I get it. But I don't go on to like other people's pages and then like talk shit on theirs because they're doing their own thing. But since I'm critiquing other people, makes perfect sense. If you want to critique my critique, I get it.
Right.
Like I get that 110%. But we're slowly devolving into a world where all the content, and that's going to be even worse as AI becomes more and more.
But it's also right. I was just going to say on to piggyback off of that is that it's confusing. It's confusing people, like what's real, what's not real, what's honest, it's all like an illusion. Is that the world we want to live in? Is like dishonesty and disillusion, or? Well,
yeah, and for you or I, it's like by the time the next couple of generations pass, the idea of reality being positive won't even matter to them. Like me and you are having a discussion about whether it's a good or a bad thing to be so clickbaity or negative online.
Maybe you're monetized more if you're positive.
I mean, that usually doesn't hold.
Well,
so
maybe it would.
The channel that I was talking about earlier, and this happens. For instance, guys, when we do movie reviews, if it is a positive review, a couple people watch. If it's an extremely negative review, more people watch. It's the human condition. I don't know why that is, but it's the way that things are.
Yeah.
Like,
you're not wrong.
Do you watch movie reviews?
Do I watch movie reviews
or listen to anything like that?
No, I'm the person who's like like going blind. I'll watch a movie, go in blind, and then afterwards I'll say my piece, and I don't really need to hear anybody's critique on a movie review, really. I
feel like it ends up coloring your perspective on the movie if you watch it before you go see it.
But sometimes that's true. But sometimes a good movie review can like make you understand something that maybe you didn't get from it.
Yeah, but you have to do that afterwards.
Yeah, right.
But even then, that ends up being their interpretation of it, and like sometimes you're like, oh, I didn't get that from that movie at all.
Well, I think that can be a good thing.
This is what happens when people use the term like woke for movies and TV shows. Somebody might see it where I don't, so I don't use that word unless absolutely necessary, and even then I don't like it because most of the time when I'm like, okay, maybe, I guess, like, but I don't always necessarily agree with them when they use that word.
Yeah,
for
I'm
something.
with you on that.
So, like, I really enjoy the show that came out last year called High Potential with Caitlin Olsen from Always Sunny. And somebody's like, that show's woke. I'm like, why? Because a woman? Like, there's nothing in the show, at least not that I've seen. And my hackles go up. Like, when I'm watching a movie or a TV show, in those first, if it's a movie, the first 20 minutes, my hackles up.
Well,
if it's a TV show, it takes about 4 episodes before I can ease into watching it without having to worry about whether something really, really lame is going to show up.
I was gonna say, is her like partner in that is like black or Asian? Because to me, well, there you go.
That does not make it. That.
But it's too much of it. And
let me rephrase. The actor who plays her partner is Daniel Sunjata, who's been in Hollywood for 20 years and has had more than his share of roles where he's either lead or co-lead in a television show before that era of television ever came around. So if the idea here is that it's not merit-based, well, then that doesn't land with this. Right. So it is merit-based for him. And none of the stories reflect that. None of the stories, at least in my opinion, but somebody else has a different criteria. They're like, well, she's a woman and she's really smart and she's good at her job, therefore it's woke. I'm like, not really, but...
Are we really even still using woke these days?
I'm not. But it does.
We moved on to slop.
I get why it's used though, because it's a shorthand that everybody can understand.
Yeah.
By the way, if you want the best description of the word woke, watch the 2017 SNL skit called Levi Wokes, where it's woke jeans.
Okay.
Sizeless, gender non-conforming denim, and it's just a big blob. It doesn't have a shape. They call it, it's literally gender non-conforming denim back in 2017. It was fantastic. Wow. Everybody should go watch that skit if they get a chance after this episode. All right.
Wait, is that Ryan
Gosling?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, no, you should. Yeah, we can't watch it now because that will get us copyrighted.
Okay.
But it's really, really funny.
Awesome.
Everybody should watch it. We'll watch it after the show today.
Okay.
All right, let's move on. I want to talk about the movies coming out in 2026. So look at this right here, guys. With Spider-Man Brand New Day and Avengers Doomsday, 2026 may be the first year in history with 2 Hollywood movies hitting $2 billion worldwide. I don't know how that would actually count because Avengers Doomsday, as far as I know, comes out in mid-December. So it would have to make that $1 billion before the end of the year. I don't know if it would count for that year or if it counts for 2027 based on that time. Overall, the global box office is expected to reach $35 billion in 2026. This is the article. Gower Street Analytics has projected that the global box office will reach $35 billion in 2026, marking a second consecutive year of growth with a 5% increase over current 2025 estimates. The forecast would make the 2026 highest grossing year worldwide since 2019. That would, of course, have been prior to COVID. It would have been when Avengers Endgame came out. That year had a $42.3 billion haul, surpassing 2023's $33.9 billion, according to the theatrical analytic firm's annual yearly year-ahead projection. We predict 2026 will be the highest grossing global year since 2019, topping the current high of 2023, which was $33.9 billion. Who led the 2026 projection work, especially in the markets driven by Hollywood product. We expect the most significant growth. So what movies are you looking forward to in 2026? That's what I really wanted to ask you.
Yeah, there's a handful. I guess first I'd start with Verity, which is...
Do you want to explain what that is?
So Verity is actually, it's a book. It's a Colleen Hoover book. So it's
oh my gosh. So
Blake Lively and Justin Baldwin. Nope. This is going to, so if you don't know who Colleen Hoover is, she also had a movie made from one of her book called It Ends With Us with Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Obviously, I'm sure you know that drama, especially if you watch the show. So it's the same author. Her book Verity is getting turned into a movie. Anne Hathaway is going to be starring in it, as well as Dakota Johnson and Josh Hartnett. Josh Hartnett's been like kind of making a comeback recently.
Yeah, in the last couple of years, he was one of those ones who, he's from Minnesota, I believe.
Yeah.
He kind of left mainstream Hollywood like a decade ago or something.
Yep.
And then kind of did his own thing.
Indie
art
back.
nerd, and now he's back.
Yeah.
He was in the M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Which I liked it, but it was also a little weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of a weird one to come back with.
Do you have a favorite Josh Hartnett movie?
Not really.
He was in The Faculty, right?
Yes.
Yes.
What was it? Is it not Armageddon? What's the other one?
That was Ben Affleck.
I know, but what's the other?
My favorite movie with him is called Lucky Number 11.
Oh God, I never saw that movie.
With Bruce Willis and Lucy Liu.
Okay. Black Hawk Down. He was in that, which is like that's a great movie.
So Verity.
Okay, so Verity, yeah. So Verity, it's basically a writer gets hired to finish a best-selling book series of another author who had an accident and is in a coma.
Okay.
And so the husband hires this writer to come to their home and help finish his series out. And then there's like a spiral of different, things that kind of unfold there. I won't give any more away on that. But I am looking forward to it. I'm not really a Colleen Hoover fan. I don't really understand the hype so much, but I also find her easy to read and it can be fun. So I'm definitely interested in that. Toy Story 5, definitely interested in that. Love the Toy Story series, watch it all the time. Wuthering Heights adaptation, speaking of books again, that should be fun. I love Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi for sure.
She had a movie that came out this year that I meant to go see and I never did.
Which movie?
It just came out a couple months ago. It was like a romantic adventure movie. But it was one of those ones where we saw the ads and I was like, oh, that looks kind of cute, but then I didn't end up going to see it.
I don't know. I'd have to look to see what that was. What else am I looking into? Oh, Digger, which I don't really know too much about. This is a new, highly anticipated Tom Cruise movie. There's only like a 40-second trailer out, and it doesn't really. It doesn't
show
much.
You anything.
No,
there's no plot given away in this trailer at all.
No, but it's supposed to be like a big deal for Tom Cruise. I mean, something different that we're not used to seeing him do.
He does have great comedic timing. Like people kind of underestimate how good Tom Cruise can be at comedy when he's given the opportunity.
I think it said like the short synopsis is the most powerful man in the world embarks on a frantic mission to prove he is humanity's savior before the disaster he's unleashed destroys everything. So most powerful man in the world. He's also on a mission again. I mean, that is kind of in the world of Tom Cruise. So this
is the fakest looking thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
I think it's beautiful, actually.
I think that I don't know that.
It's fake and gay.
I think he was on a green screen there.
Probably.
Yeah.
I guess there's a Resident Evil reboot coming back out. It's the same director as Barbarian and Weapons, which I love both those movies.
So people have said that he's like, I didn't play the games. I didn't
either.
But I'm saying, but the point is like for the viewer, that's okay.
Right.
For the director or the writer. Okay, so we've had this discussion before. A lot of actors are like, oh, I love this superhero. I want to play them. I don't actually buy that 90% of the time. I think they're just vying for work. But
I don't know. I think a lot of people would want to play Batman to be like, I freaking played Batman.
But he's the most popular. Like, they'll say it about characters that I know for a fact they likely never heard of unless they were actually a comic book nerd. But when it comes to that type of thing, you can have the Henry Cavill approach, like with him with The Witcher, where he cares deeply about the material. And therefore, he can kind of, because Henry Cavill is Henry Cavill, he can throw his weight around to make sure, to try to stave off as much damage as possible in the adaptation. But Marvel has outright said to the writers and directors, don't read the comics. I hate that. It's more important that a writer or a director is a fan of a franchise than an actor.
They're saying to the director, don't read it, or they're saying to their audience?
To the writer. Oh. To the writer of the movie. Don't read the comics beforehand.
I wonder how you go about that exactly.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's a bad idea.
Yeah, not a
I
good
think
idea.
It is more important that the writer or the director care about the source material than the actor. Like a good actor can deliver a great performance as long as the director, who understands the material that it was based off of, knows how to give the actor the direction they need to lean into it, rather than having the actor to take it upon themselves to kind of go against the director's wishes if he feels that the director is trying to portray the character in a way that's not fair to the actual, original source material.
Well, it also depends. Like, is it being written because we want to see is it like, what part of the story is it that is the most important thing here? Yeah. So I think it depends.
So I have several movies that I'm kind of excited for.
Okay.
I'm very excited for the Street Fighter movie. It's going to be so stupid, and I'm going to love every second of it.
We clearly have different.
We have very different tastes in movies. The Odyssey, it's going to be too long.
Yeah, Christopher Nolan's not really my jam.
Or Chris's, right?
No, we're not.
Yeah, he's like president of the He-Man Christopher Nolan hating club. He hates Christopher Nolan as much as he hates England.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
That's pretty true. The Drama, which is the new Zendaya movie. I have become Team Zendaya.
I love Zendaya.
I don't watch her movies, but I'm Team Zendaya because she doesn't complain about people that hate her.
I love her, and honestly, that's probably gonna do a lot better than the wedding date.
Probably. I mean, did Challengers do good? I feel like Challengers.
I don't know if it did good. And actually, I didn't even know about it until I saw it streaming. I was like, "What's this?" And it's actually a great movie.
So we've got Mercy coming out. I posted about this. It's the most January-looking movie I've ever seen. It was made to be dumped in the theaters at the most off month possible. Chris Pratt probably needs to hire a new agent. It doesn't really matter because he's very successful anyways with Jurassic World, and obviously he's got the Terminalist series, which he did great work on, and then produced Terminalist Dark Wolf, and then I think they're doing a season 2 of Terminalist right now. He'll always be busy.
Yeah, and he's just one of those actors where I'm like, really?
I like
that happened? Okay.
I like him. I just think he picks bad projects sometimes.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's okay.
Yeah.
So we've got Avengers Doomsday. Obviously, we've got Spider-Man Brand New Day. Obviously, I made a point in my last video. Now I have to double check to make sure it's one that's come out and one that I believe, in my opinion, this is kind of crazy to say, Spider-Man is more of a sure thing than Avengers is at this point. So Spider-Man is the most popular, superhero character of all time. I think maybe you could say Batman is in that same conversation with him. But as far as staying power with the youths, the kids love Spider-Man. They will always love Spider-Man. I imagine that Spider-Man pajamas are still a license to print money for the kids these days. And I have no doubt that Spider-Man Brand New Day will make $1 billion at the box office. Avengers, I don't know. They're stop and start. The movies have not been that good at Marvel for a long time. And bringing back established characters when you claimed that you were done with them feels like a desperate move to try and regain relevance. They're doing this right now where throughout the release of Avatar, Fire and Ash, every week will feature a new trailer with a new Avenger. Week 1 is supposedly Chris Evans reintroducing Captain America. Week 2 is going to be supposedly Chris Hemsworth as Thor. Week 3 would be Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. And then week 4 is supposed to be like an actual full trailer. I'm guessing that will be the one that ends up online after the fact. But I don't think that there's going to be as much. I think people are going to be more tepid about that one than they will about Spider-Man, because the Spider-Man movies that Tom Holland has made have all been generally well received and good, and Marvel has been off their game. There is a new Hunger Games movie coming out. Maybe we'll get into more of that in a second.
On Devil Wears Prada, let's not forget about that.
Are you excited about that one?
I'm excited for Devil Wears Prada. I mean, how can you not love that movie? I mean, I don't know how the second one's going to be. I mean, we'll see.
Mortal Kombat 2, I am excited for that one as well. I was hoping that they would release Mortal Kombat 2 and Street Fighter at the same time, and I could go do a double feature for both of them. That would be awesome. I think Dune Part 3 is tentative, and it might get moved. But do you guys like Dune?
No, we're not Dune people now.
Not Dune. Did you try?
Nope.
No?
I should try.
It feels more your speed than mine.
There's one scene. Is it Timothée Chalamet, right?
Yes.
There's one scene apparently with Timothée Chalamet in that movie, and they were going on about how amazing it is. And I tried. It's like when he's in the circle, and I just maybe you can't watch a standalone scene from that movie, but I'm like, no, what is this?
That's true of most movies. Like standalone scenes don't capture the same ambiance.
Well, it's like a trailer. I mean, if you watch a trailer, you might be like, oh, that's something I could watch.
Narnia.
No.
Greta Gerwig, Narnia.
I like Greta Gerwig, but Barbie wasn't great, so I don't know.
Also, I mean, there is such a thing as the wrong director for a specific project.
I like her when she's acting, I think, more.
I didn't even know she acted
until
very recently.
Yeah, she's got fun movies.
Return to Silent Hill, you mentioned that. Masters of the Universe, people are tentative on that one because they're seeing it as a comedic tone, and they don't really imagine that Masters of the Universe, that He-Man needs a comedic tone. It might be better to take that movie in a more serious route. Scream 7.
Okay. I haven't seen Scream 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think.
I love Scream 3. I tolerate
that might be
Scream
a lie.
3.
I think I do remember seeing one semi-recently in the theater.
There was probably 6.
Who... Roberts, Julia Roberts' niece, was she in one?
Yes,
Emma
Roberts.
That's the one. She's in one, right?
Am
I thinking something else? That's the one I've seen last.
Yeah, well, that was a long time ago.
Okay, well,
4 was in.
What I saw.
I think that was 4. So 2011.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that movie was actually quite prescient in how it predicted that people were going to become obsessed with being social media stars, because the whole point is that she wants to be famous.
That's true.
It's one of the least believables because she's tiny. Like, the actress is tiny.
Yeah.
So Scream 7, it's the return of Neve Campbell. She was not in 6, and they brought her back because they lost Melissa Barrera and they lost what's her name? Jenna Ortega, who were in the previous 2. Clayface, that's a DC movie, obviously. The Super Mario Galaxy movie, that will make $1 billion. I have no doubt about that as well. The last Mario movie made $1 billion.
Trash.
Mario is a license to print money. Mandalorian and Grogu, another one that's maybe a question mark for me. Star Trek sucks now too. At least according to everybody I know that likes Star Trek. I don't give a crap about Star Trek. But Star Wars has also been stop and start and hasn't delivered consistently good stuff for a long time. So just because Mandalorian was successful on Disney Plus does not mean that will get people out to the theaters to watch a Mandalorian and Grogu movie. I think the excitement around Baby Yoda died several years ago, and I don't think that's enough to make $1 billion or anything. There's also Michael, which is a Michael Jackson documentary. Does that interest you?
Absolutely. I love biopics like that. I love musician biopics.
What was the last one you watched?
It might have been the Whitney Houston one. I can't think what was after that.
Did you watch any of the Elvis Presley ones? There were so many of them.
Well, no. Well, I mean, I saw the Jacob Elordi one, Priscilla, but that's not like a real biopic.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it kind of is.
I was just double checking something here. Yeah, but Emma Roberts played Jill Roberts. I was like double checking myself in the thing. I was like, she played a lady with the same last name as her, so I got confused for a second there.
That's funny that you remember that character's name.
Well, it's I actually liked that movie a lot, but I was like, am I misunderstanding or misremembering something like that? Devil Wears Prada 2. What else? Moana live action will come out. Will probably make a ton of money. We've seen consistent success with any of these live action adaptations that millennial parents can bring their children to because they're based off properties that were loved by millennials. Lilo and Stitch did it this year. How to Train Your Dragon did it this year. Those types of movies are generally proving to be successful. Violent Night 2. I did like Violent Night 1.
That's because you like David Harbour.
I like David Harbour as an actor.
He's not returning for the second one, though, right?
I don't know if he's going to be in the new one, but I would imagine that he has to be, right? He was like the most. Yeah, he's in it. It's like he's the whole thing. He's Santa Claus.
Oh, okay.
So David Harbour is one of those guys who he's kind of annoying. Okay, he's very annoying, but I like him as an actor. You don't like him as an actor, right?
You know, I don't really know if I know a lot of his work. I only saw the first season of Stranger Things, and it just wasn't for me, so I don't know.
He was a TV actor for 20 years before he really kind of hit it big. I like him a lot. He was in Gran Turismo in 2023. I really liked that movie. I think he's fantastic. Oh, funnily enough, Kristen Bell is in both that and Scream 4. Kristen Bell's still around these days. Veronica Mars. Everybody should watch Veronica Mars. Veronica Mars was great. Let's see what else we got here. At least a couple of more that I remember seeing that should be at least be worth
There's a
watching.
movie called The Home with Pete Davidson.
Okay, what's that one about?
I don't know what it's about. It looks like it's a thriller. It looks pretty bad. I mean, I'm not really a Pete Davidson fan, so it's probably not going to be great.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Echoes of the Ooze. So that must be is this going to be the follow-up to the Mutant Mayhem that came out in like 2023 or 2022? That's one of the rare movies that Mary actually liked. Mary really liked the animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that came out in 2023 or something like that. And Scary Movie 6, if anybody wants to watch another scary movie. Oh, God,
another scary movie.
Yeah.
There's also Artificial, which we talked about, which I know you said you wouldn't care to see that because it's like AI. It's basically all the AI guys are represented in this.
Return of the Living Dead, and I believe there's another 28 years later coming out. And also Werewolf, which is is that Robert Eggers?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Robert Eggers. So look, there's a lot of stuff coming out, but it's going to be the same story that happens every time, which is that pretty much everything is going to be driven by a couple of big hits at the box office. That's going to do all the heavy lifting for the theaters. Obviously, Supergirl is going to be coming out. I guess I have more interest in seeing that than some of the other ones.
Who's playing Supergirl?
Millie Alcock from House of the Dragon.
Okay.
She's young. I'm the youngest. She's 23.
Okay.
So she's only been around for a short period of time. All right. I think that, look, I don't want to see the movie experience die. I don't want to see the theater experience die. I did see the report that Netflix is going to supposedly keep Warner Brothers separate from their studio, and they're going to allow for full theatrical windows. But that remains to be seen.
We'll see.
Like when you guys go see movies, do you guys go like right away, or do you guys go a couple weeks after it comes out?
We try to go right away. I'm actually going on Monday to see The Housemaid. I can't get it right. I always want to say Handmaids, Guest Maid. I don't know. Housemaid, yeah. So I'm excited to see that. I do like to see it right away because, like I said, I don't like to read reviews. And then as soon as you sign on to TikTok or whatever, you're going to see someone talking something about it. So
the funny thing is, of the 3 movies supposedly that are coming out this weekend in the battle for the top Rotten Tomatoes score, that is won by the SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
No.
SpongeBob is like 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. The Housemaid is in the high 70s or 80s or something like that. Good. And then James Cameron's Avatar is like 69%.
You're not going to go see that?
I'm not.
No.
I liked Way of Water. It was fine, and then it all evaporated from my brain literally instantly. And I completely forgot everything that I watched. Somebody left a super chat the other day. It said, Brett, I'll super chat $10 more if you can tell me what the plot was to Avatar Way of Water, and I couldn't remember.
Is that like the second one?
That was the second one.
Okay.
That was the second one. Yeah.
I don't even know if I remember the first. It's
like
a magical land.
It was like 2009. That was forever ago.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of Hunger Games, which we did mention earlier, you guys might find this interesting. President Trump's athletic event announcement draws Hunger Games comparison. So Donald Trump is going to be giving us something called Patriot Games. And we're not talking about the Harrison Ford movie, the Jack Ryan movie. We are talking about an athletic competition. He announces Patriot Games, a 4-day athletic event for top high school athletes. Public reactions compare the event to the dystopian Hunger Games series. Other anniversary events will be organized by a bipartisan America 250 and Freedom 250 group. So basically, it's celebrating the 250th birthday of the United States of America. That's a big accomplishment of America.
You see what they're getting us ready for? They're getting us ready for the purge, for the future.
That's what they're doing right now. It's predictive programming.
Exactly.
So what was the big announcement Trump unveiled this week? He introduced Americans to Patriot Games, a 4-day event that'll feature high school athletes. It's expected to take place during the fall. Quote, "We will host the first ever Patriot Games, an unprecedented 4-day athletic event featuring the greatest high school athletes, one man and one woman from each state and territory," Trump said. "But I promise there will be no men playing in women's sports." So that's the only way I can say it properly.
That's great.
The comparisons to the Hunger Games is TDS incarnate here. I saw Grace Randolph, of all people. Let me see if I have it.
Wait,
here.
did you want to play the video here?
Oh, is it there in the article?
Yeah, it's there.
Let's see if it'll play. Here we go.
"In the fall, we will host the first ever Patriot Games, an unprecedented 4-day athletic event featuring the greatest..."
This looks AI to me. It looks
Could
fake.
be.
It looks
They Joe
fake.
Biden him.
High school athletes, one young man and one young woman from each state and territory. But I promise there will
be no women. They cut it off there. They didn't want to. They didn't want to.
Oh,
yeah. So, clearly, it wasn't the Republicans who posted that clip because they would have left that clip in there, right?
That's funny.
What do you think this would look like?
I don't know. They're saying it's the best man, best woman from each state.
What does that mean? Like, there's more than one type of athlete.
So exactly. Like, okay, it's like a mini Olympics.
Yeah, I mean that's the comparison. So this is really funny. Grace Randolph says, "I can't believe this is really happening. For those of you not making the connections, it's the Hunger Games, but real."
What do they get in the end?
I don't know. That's a good question. Like it'll probably be a big picture of Donald Trump.
Yeah, there's like a signed
picture.
picture.
Did you see that he's renaming the Kennedy Center to the Trump Kennedy Center?
No.
Yeah. I was like, bro, you're making it really hard.
Oh,
like you're making it really hard for everybody.
But it's also like priorities, man.
So this was her follow-up. I laughed. She quote tweeted, somebody said, "How is this any different from another sporting event, like from another sports competition?" She goes, "The government doesn't run professional sports. Trump is going to make it really red states versus blue states. If a red state athlete wins, they'll be used as propaganda. If a blue state athlete wins, I hope they have a strong support system."
Oh my God.
What are you talking
Well, I guess we'll have to see how these games are played.
Like, what are you talking? Like, they literally think that people are going to be sent out there to kill one another. That's absolutely bonkers.
Could you imagine though if someone does die though?
Oh, that's not.
Then we're gonna have to circle back around to this episode.
Yeah. So he says, sure, but what would just be reflective of the American public opinion from the whole spectrum? What has the U.S. come to if they can't deal with a national sports competition normally? Yes. How is this any different than supporting your home country when the Olympics are going on? Right? In fact, reinstating a sense of patriotism would be a fantastic thing for the culture. Not just, for your country, but also perhaps in your state. I've also seemed to notice that conservatives seem to lean more towards love of country, and liberals tend to lean towards love of state, unless it's like the red states like Texas or Florida. Mm-hmm. But in general, like if you see somebody with a flag outside their house, if they've got a American flag, people assume that that's probably a more conservative leaning person. Whereas if they have a state flag, they might lean in a more liberal direction.
Maybe.
Like it feels that way to me sometimes. Am I wrong? That's just vibes.
No, maybe not. I think anyone these days, if you have a flag, it's just like, oh God, no, people are going to say something.
I mean, the thing is
flags have a bad rap, okay?
I've known, like, I used to work with this, my old boss at my last job before I worked here. She was probably the last of a dying breed of, like, blue dog Democrats. They loved guns. They owned lots of guns. And I guess they were just her and her husband were so devoid or disconnected from like the actual politics of the day that they didn't understand that their own side was the ones that wanted to disarm them and hated guns and hated anything to do with that and couldn't really understand that they've kind of already lost their base. But I want to see this. I would watch this, especially if they run it as the type of thing. Like I used to love to watch the Olympics back in the day.
Is it going to be streaming on YouTube?
That's that. I mean, like, who's going to get? No, it'll be on like Trump TV. Does it like? Would you watch something like this?
I mean, maybe.
And or you get behind your state. Like, what would be the consequences of being the liberal? I guess the blue state, the Maryland athlete who ends up winning this competition. Like, what do you mean? Every time a sports team wins a championship, they're invited to the White House, no matter what whether it's a blue state or a red state. They're always invited to the White House, and a lot of times they're the ones that turn it down.
Yeah, we need to know what the incentive is here. Like, who's actually like, oh, this is great. Yeah, I'll do this.
Maybe they pay for their college education or something like that. That'd be good, right?
Sure.
A state fair in the National Mall, an athletic competition calling one young man and one young woman from each state and territory to Washington, D.C. The largest fireworks display in the world are among the Trump administration's plans to celebrate the United States' 250th anniversary. We should celebrate.
Yeah.
This country's been through a lot. Maybe we need to celebrate a little bit and actually get along.
Sure.
When I campaigned for president, I'm not going to do the Trump voice for this one. When I campaigned for president, I pledged to give America the most spectacular birthday party the world has ever seen for America's 250th anniversary on July 4th next year. I want to see it. And I think it's a good way of actually fostering relationships between, because isn't that kind of the point of the Olympics too, is to bring people together through competition?
Yeah.
Competition is actually a good thing. You better yourself, you better your opponent, you better the people around you when you compete. That's why the free market is actually a good thing when there isn't government interference, right? The world is better when people compete and vie to be the best in something.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I'll watch it with you, sure. We'll stream it live here on PCC.
They're also doing a UFC fight on the lawn of the White House, which people were pissed about as well.
But that's weird.
That actually does have a deal with Paramount.
Okay.
So that actually will be streamed on Paramount. All right. Let me know down in the chat, guys. Would you guys go watch Patriot games? And is there going to be a lot of hullabaloo and liberal crying because of Patriot games? Maybe they'll play flag football and each person has a flag from their state.
Okay.
There you go.
Maryland has the ugliest flag.
Oh, that's a hot take.
I know, but don't tell Marylanders that. They love their flags.
The Marylanders love their flags so much.
Texas does too, but I love a Texas flag. Well, I lived in Texas for 5 years, and anytime I would see a Texas flag, I felt proud.
Yeah.
I love a Texas flag. But Maryland flag,
what don't you like about it?
It's ugly.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up so people can, because some people, unless you live here in this area, like people might not know what the Maryland
flag
goofy. Looks like. It's very unique looking.
It is unique looking.
Let me pull it up here. There, you can see it on the.
Yeah, what is that? That's pretty ugly. Okay, but I'll pull up a Texas flag.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up here. So, well, like, what do you what is it about the Texas flag that you love so much?
I don't know. I guess it's very. It's I don't know. It's similar to like an American flag,
And
which is like the 1 star,
and simple enough to.
and it's like alpha.
Hold on. The Maryland flag is very confusing looking. There we go.
Yeah. See,
There we
simple.
go.
Love
oh,
it.
Wait, full screen there.
Love
there you
it.
go.
That's perfect. It's a perfect flag.
All right, guys. Let's go on. Let's do the super chats here, guys. Let's get to a crisis party at least.
Yeah, come on. Send us your
let's
money,
do this.
honey.
There you go.
I'll light up my lights for you.
Oh, do they turn? They're on though, right?
Well, they're on, but they blink.
gotta-
They do a little blink.
Show the blink. I gotta
Okay.
see the blink.
Yeah, I'll do a little blink.
All right. Up top here.
Is it? Can you tell?
Let me see. Yeah, you can see
Okay.
that.
We're blinking.
From Shane H. Wilder, happy Thursday, Brett and Alex. Be careful your pronunciation here, Brett. Are either of y'all noggers?
I do not like the eggnog.
I do not like eggnog.
I'm more like, give me the Baileys if I want the cream.
I'm gonna say no to eggnog.
Yeah, no.
Uh,
Oh, someone did say the Texas flag looks like the Puerto Rican
that was-
flag,
that
and
was
I'm
gonna
Puerto
say that,
Rican.
yes, there you
So
go.
it could be because I'm Puerto Rican. I don't know. Maybe.
Wait, does that make you our diversity hire?
I don't look it, but yes. I think that's true. Is there any diversity here?
Dull and tired. Is that like an 07? It's like O/ in the chat. Okay. Shane H. Wilder says, Alex, your husband is the only one who follows me on Letterboxd.
Aw.
Also, I have cable, but I get it for free and hardly ever watch it as I'm a millennial.
Wait, what's the name? Your name?
Shane H. Wilder.
Oh, Shane H. Wilder. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, I would never put cable on in the background because I have rules against commercials. I don't watch commercials.
Yeah. Well, I just don't want to pay for it.
So, I will not watch movies with commercials. I will not watch new television shows with commercials. I will watch old shows from the terrestrial television era if it's on a streaming service like Tubi or Roku that doesn't offer free or doesn't offer like ad free.
Do they do ads at the front though, or
So-
in between?
So actually, there's actually more to that, which is some of them, when you like say you're watching on Roku, right? If you pause it, the timeline at the bottom will actually show you where the ad is.
Oh yeah. Okay.
If it doesn't show me, I want to know the max amount of ads I'm going to have to see. And even then, that's not accurate because some of them are different lengths. Some of them will be a 1 minute ad. Some of them will be a 3 minute ad. And you don't actually know the full length. But if I see there's 5 little hash marks down there, I'm like, I'm not watching that.
See, okay, I might be backtracking on my thought here, but I think I don't mind a commercial because I always have to go to the bathroom. So it's a perfect
Well, that's
commercial
what the
break for a
pause
bathroom.
button is for.
Oh, well, if it's already going to give it for me, might as well just use it.
All right. Pink King 554 says R.I.P. NASCAR driver Greg Biffle and family. I saw that while I was looking up the news. I don't know anything about the case, but rest in peace. NASCAR is unbelievably dangerous. Scary. Shane H. Wilder says, I've met so many good friends from the internet. Most I've gone on to meet IRL, but for the most part, the internet is a cesspool of anons. Yeah, I mean, even the people, I've seen a lot of posts recently of people who are like, something I've learned this year is like your internet friends aren't your real friends.
Durr.
Like, they say they're there for you, but they're not necessarily. I kind of operate under the premise to like I don't ever want to need anybody other than, I guess, my wife and my family.
Mm-hmm.
But that's, those are the people that you're committed to and you can count on because you've entered into that relationship with. I don't think that it's necessarily the end of I don't think it's fair to hold your internet friends to the same standards as you hold your real world friends.
I agree.
Like if your internet friends are not there for you all the time, I don't think that makes them bad people.
What do we mean by internet friends?
People that you interact with mostly online. Like if tomorrow, like if I lose my job tomorrow, I'm not going to make it, it's not incumbent on anybody that I interact with online to feel bad for me or try to, help in any way. It's not the truth of the matter.
Yeah.
It's not the truth of the matter. Or at the very least, you should not expect that of anybody. Nobody should expect that of people online. Pop Culture Junkie says, is it just me or does it appear time after time that Meghan Markle just keeps making herself an easy target for a different reason each time? I mean, I do think it is. I think it comes down to, and I didn't articulate this well before, I think that once you find your niche that you're actually really passionate about, it's a lot easier to go forward. And for her, it's like trying to do the square peg in the round hole. She's trying to do
I just imagine she goes home and just screams into a pillow and then she's just like, okay, I'm going to try again tomorrow.
I don't think it's
which
that.
is
I think
wild.
I think she yells at her husband.
But the thing is, like, she's an actor.
Prince of what? That's what she says to him.
No, I don't know.
Oh, royalty, huh?
Uh-huh.
Like she's real snarky to him.
I think she's just kind of like more of like a quiet bitch.
Probably.
You know, like she's not exactly screaming and pointing and yelling at him, but she's just like nasty.
Yeah. She's like, oh, sounds like something your mom would do.
Exactly. Ooh, jab. Ooh, she's a jabber.
just kneading at him. All right. See, do that. Make a series where she's like being mean. People would be like, you know, the people online would be like, look, maybe she's honest.
Prince Harry needs to put hidden cameras around the house.
Oh, Prince of what? That's
Prince
what she
of what? No.
All right. Pop Culture Junkie says, good idea, Brett. Great new job title, Rage Farmer. I don't want to be.
No.
That's the thing, though. It's like for all the stuff that we cover, I would like to believe that if you checked this channel out in good faith, you would at least see with most of our videos that you're going to see some reasoned arguments against something. Like it's not going to be just like, oh, this is stupid. Mary or I are going to tell you reasons for why we believe what we believe. And I don't hold malice in my heart towards anyone. So whatever my critique is, maybe that's why this job doesn't always come the easiest to me. It's like, I am that person, right?
Yeah.
Like I do have a hard time being negative. It's not easy. But that doesn't mean, look, that doesn't
I am more
mean,
negative
like,
to myself than I am.
Yes. Oh, yes. You
know,
should always hold yourself to a much higher standard.
Yeah,
than you hold
it's
the
so
rest
much
of the world.
easier to be positive with everything else.
But like, I did a Mission Impossible review this year, and I wanted to like the movie, and nobody on this channel is ever going to accuse me of being overly negative when it comes to movie reviews. If anything, I'm too forgiving of most things.
Yeah,
but I had
a
lot of critiques with it, and somebody was just like, well, you're just being too negative. I'm like, well,
okay, sometimes.
it makes it the good stuff means nothing if you're positive all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just cope on my part. All right. Shane H. Wilder says, so you like apples, Brett? Why do you hate oranges so much?
In reference to, are we talking about real apples and oranges here?
I mean, that's the internet in a nutshell.
Right.
Like, the internet in a nutshell is me to be like, you know what? I really like bottled water. And someone's like, oh, so canned water can just fuck off then?
Well, around here, it's pool water.
Yes, it's glass bottled. I actually do hate glass bottled water.
Yeah, well, because it's like water. I feel like water shouldn't be in glass, but
I don't want if I drop it and break it, I don't want to do that. No, thank you. All right. And I do prefer apples to oranges. So what of it, bro? Penamite says, I started using Twix this year, and I can't believe people have been using the For You page all this time. It's demonic. You're better off getting news from AM radio.
Okay, I'm going to be a millennial when I say this, but what is Twix?
That's just what I call X.
Oh, okay.
Because it used to be Twitter. Now it's X.
Oh, gotcha.
Thus it's Twix.
Twix is better.
Twix is pretty good. Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be what your page is. Like, all of your For You page is just going to be a bunch of negativity. Oh, here's an article about Gwyneth Paltrow making the decision to make fun of the Coldplay Kiss Cam scandal. I love how out of touch she is. Gwyneth Paltrow is my favorite person in Hollywood.
Is it really, though? Or is that sarcasm?
I mean, it's mimetic in that she's so detached from reality. I find it hilarious.
Yeah.
All right. Potatoes for Seamus. If Brett flew a flag, it would have mocha on it. Maybe. Probably.
The cat state.
Yeah. It would have toast, mocha, and Chloe.
Nice.
Yep.
I live in that state.
Rural conservative. In Trump voice, may the odds be ever in your favor. Yep. Potatoes for Seamus. Brett secretly watches Little House on the Prairie. I've never seen Little House on the Prairie. I would watch it, though. I have no problem watching stuff that is that is old and not cool anymore.
Let's see if it's streaming anywhere.
Is it?
I'm gonna look for you.
I tried to watch.
It says on YouTube.
I tried to watch Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman once. Didn't work.
I'm not really seeing a stream somewhere.
All right. Brian Bledsoe says, most people just want to be entertained for a couple of hours. If they see a sequel to something familiar, they'll just go see that. Yeah. I mean,
sequels kind of have a bad reputation, though.
I agree. Or let me rephrase. I don't necessarily know if that's true. I do believe that most people, when everybody says that everybody wants something new, I don't actually believe that that's true because the numbers don't bear that out.
Yeah.
Tons of new movies are made every year and nobody goes to see them.
Yeah.
There are new releases every month and nobody goes to watch them. Now, a big part of that is because they don't get any marketing. The studios don't put any money behind them, right? Like when people were talking about Christie failing, they're like, did it fail because Sydney Sweeney's an alt-right Yahtzee? Or did it fail because it's a lesbian boxing movie and nobody knew it existed? Because they didn't market it and nobody knew it was coming out.
Yeah, probably that.
That would be my guess. All right. Adam says, thoughts on the Street Fighter trailer. I loved it. It was kinetic. It was chaotic. It was awesome. Had the car getting beat up at the end. It's got a bunch of WWE wrestlers in it. I'm on board. I'm ready for it. I might be more interested in watching that than I am Mortal Kombat 2, and I'm pretty interested in Mortal Kombat 2.
Is anyone in it?
In which one?
Street Fighter?
Yeah, it's got Cody Rhodes from WWE. It's got Roman Reigns from WWE. David Desmalkin. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He's a very popular actor these days. A lot of actors. All right. Potatoes for Seamus says, can we adopt Brett and help him with his leg lengthening? I'm not going to... Look, bro.
What, they think you're short?
I am short, but that's not the point. The point is to own it, because if you've seen the videos of those people trying to recover from that surgery, it takes like a year. They can't walk properly anymore. They look like they're on fucking stilts.
That was a whole story in The Materialist with Dakota Fanning. Pedro Pascal's character, he has leg lengthening. And she's like, I think it ultimately is why she's like, I can't. I'm not kidding.
That's a red flag.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so of the two, cosmetic surgery is a red flag for both genders, but that cosmetic surgery, men getting a leg lengthening surgery is a bigger red flag than a woman getting a breast augmentation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what to do with that, bro. You were dealt a hand by God. You must deal with the hand you were dealt, and you will be better off for it. Arguably, first of all, it makes you look disproportionate and weird, and it's not going to increase your confidence.
Why is it disproportionate? Isn't it the same amount of boost?
Your legs are now bigger, but your torso is the same size.
Yeah.
Nothing, like, your body is proportional to the rest of you. I mean, everybody knows somebody who has a friend who's at least a little bit lanky, right?
Yeah.
His legs are a little bit longer than the rest of his body. I've got friends like that. Imagine doing that on, like, by choice.
Yeah.
Also, and the worst part is, like, imagine you're, like, 5'5". But big story. Earlier this year, when I had my shoulder separation, I had to go to the doctor and get. So they weighed me, and they got my height. I ended up being taller than I thought I was.
Oh.
I thought I was 5'5". They said I was 5'7".
So there you go.
I was like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
I still don't. I think they were wrong. I don't think I'm 5'7". But the point is, imagine being like 5'4" or 5'5". Like or my height isn't. I still said that I was like I feel like I'm 5'5" because I've always, that's just what all my life.
Well, I'm 5'6", so before we can see who's taller here.
So imagine being that height and you get the leg lengthening surgery and you get like 3 inches added, and all just to make you average height for an American male. Like you're 5'5", they add 4 inches to you, and you're like, okay, so I'm 5'9" now.
It could change everything.
It is not going to change anything. You will not be more confident.
Well, in The Materialist, I believe it gave him like an ego boost too. So then he makes more money.
Only a psychopath would get more ego from something they did not accomplish themselves. You get an ego boost if you lose weight or get in shape. That makes sense. You had to put in the work to go do that. You had to actually go to the gym. You had to
Yeah, it's
actually
pretty
stop
bad.
stuffing your face with Doritos for 5 seconds. That actually could contribute to a more positive outlook on yourself. But I guess maybe the ego boost is like, I have so much money I can afford to do this. No way. No way.
No way, no how.
Nope. And then you're going to trip because you're like walking like this on stilts.
Because you're not used to it.
Yeah, no way. All right.
But also, that was a mean comment, so foo-foo.
Yeah, you know what? That's okay. Wait, which one was that too? Did I okay.
You find where we
That
are?
was from
Okay.
Shane H. Wilder.
No, that was from
Oh,
Potatoes.
no, it's from Potatoes. Okay, yes. Thank you, Potatoes. Shane H. Wilder says, "Oh, I'd feel bad for you, Brett. Then I'd remember that you're resilient and will land on your feet."
Literally.
Well, yeah, literally, because I don't have the leg lengthening surgery. I won't topple over and fall. Nobody
Poor
wants that.
thing.
Not that John Stewart says 5'4". I don't have to imagine it. Okay.
Okay. Anything on Rumble here? There's Rumble stuff.
Let me check over here on Rumble. Yeah, a couple over here on Rumble. There we go. The local Wendigo says, he says, I use Brave to watch YouTube, no ads, and I can have my screen off. Yeah, but you can't do that when you're like driving or something like that.
Right.
Broody Gambit says, it's some crazy stat. I may not be remembering correctly, but I believe Spider-Man has generated more money than than all the other comic book IPs combined. Batman is second. Yeah, like it is crazy. Like you go to Walmart, they're still going to be selling Spider-Man pajamas for the kids.
My kids love it.
See?
Yeah, we have Spider-Man pajamas, we're a Spider-Man house.
It transcends generations.
And I have to say, I'm not really a comic book watcher enthusiast, but movie enthusiast. But watching the Spider-Man series, it's really a lot of fun. I like them.
And I think that maybe that's the point, is that they focus on fun.
Yeah.
Right? Potatoes for Shame. It says, calm down, Brett. Brett Low T Dasovic, long live PCC.
God.
Wah, wah, wah. Thank you, Potatoes. That was very kind of you. Were there any more over here on Rumble? You can't just not read it, right? You got to read it.
Someone says it's not. You didn't send us any money, DJ Dubs, but you said I'm also Puerto Rican, and you asked. Wait, someone said, why does Puerto Rican you'll ever know? Are you talking about me? And then, Alex, are you Puerto Rican on your mom or dad's side? My dad's side. And my dad is full on Puerto Rican.
Does that make a difference if it's on the mom or the dad's side?
I don't think so, but my dad is the Puerto Ricans and my family are white. They're just white Puerto Ricans.
Yep. All right. For all of it here. Make sure that we are caught up on everything. We did get a crisis party, so that will happen here in just a second. And because everybody was being babies yesterday, I have fixed it.
Oh, okay, good.
I have fixed it because everybody's being babies.
Someone said Tobey was the best Spider-Man, and I agree.
Oh, so you've seen like all the Spider-Man
I
movies.
love the Tobey Spider-Mans.
Did you see the Andrew Garfield ones?
I do, but I don't really remember them so much. I'm not really an Andrew Garfield fan.
He is one of those ones where he sees himself as a pretty real act. Like he kind of worked to not be seen as like a comic book actor.
He was good in the Julia Roberts movie, though.
What was the movie he did in 2021? Was it a Ridley Scott movie? I forget the name of it.
He did the Facebook movie.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're making another one of those.
Another Facebook movie?
Well, they're making The Social Network 2, Electric Boogaloo. I don't remember. I think this one's about another company. Value in You says, Bort, you are great. Take nothing personally. I don't. That's the thing. You can't take things personally here.
Yeah.
It's a bad thing if you do.
Alex, habla español. No. Un poquito.
Just didn't speak it in your house growing up?
I mean, I took Spanish in high school and everything. No, my dad didn't really speak Spanish in the house. I've been to Puerto Rico a bunch, but yeah, no Spanish speaking for me.
Receptive Skeptic says Tobey landed Spider-Man's vibe. I do like the Tobey movies, but that's just because that era of movies was just more fun in general too.
All I can think of though when I think about Tobey Maguire is how he's like this crazy poker player.
Really?
He's like yeah. And there's like a lot of like bad stories about him with that.
Wait, like
I
what?
don't really know them. Ooh,
See?
You're not getting it. If I'm talking to you, then I'm standing on business.
Now it's so sanitized in regular
it's not as
volume. I'm going to put the old one back, guys. Somebody yesterday was like, the sound is so loud. It's so much louder than the stream. And I'm like, oh, call the wambulance. Why don't you? Thank you guys for the crisis party. We appreciate it.
Did you ever see Molly's Game? Mm-mm. So Molly's Game is a poker movie with Jessica Chastain. It's based on a true story. But there's a Tobey Maguire character in there. I think it's like supposed to be like a really good poker player.
So it's based on his real life?
Well, it's not necessarily based on his life. It has nothing to really do it. But they use this because it's based on her life. She became like this high profile like poker player. Like she wasn't the poker player herself. She like did the game. She hosted the games. And with a lot of celebrities. So like Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire were like two of those people represented in that movie.
I'm doing a flash poll before we end the episode. Who is the best Spider-Man? Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, or Tom Holland? Get your votes in right now. Get a couple of votes before we call it a day. Kirsten Dunst was a good Mary Jane too. I don't care what people say.
I agree.
People were like mad about that because he ends up with Gwen Stacy in the end?
I don't remember. Actually.
I've only seen 3 like once.
Yeah, I don't remember 3.
But yeah, I
don't they get married?
I thought she was good in the original. Like, Kirsten Dunst.
I love Kirsten Dunst.
Have you ever seen the behind the scenes videos of the making of that movie, like the practical sets?
No.
Oh, it's really great. Like there's these videos where they're like hyping themselves up right before they call action and the set starts moving. That stuff's great. All right. So far, Toby is winning. Yeah, they're saying Toby's going to win by a mile. Yep. Somebody says Garfield killed it. I've seen more than a few Garfield defenders. Amazing Spider-Man defenders.
And Tom Holland, I feel bad for Tom Holland. To me, he seems like a wimp.
He marries Mary Jane, they said.
Okay. Oh, he does. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. But he's with Zendaya, so I kind of don't have to love Tom Holland for that. But
see,
he's not a great.
She's taller than him with the heels on.
She is taller.
And
than
he
him.
just is Tom Holland going and getting leg lengthening surgery? No, he's not.
Well, he doesn't have to. He's Tom Holland. No offense.
Well, but that's the point. The point is you have to carry yourself as if you are Tom Holland.
Yeah,
I guess. You have to carry yourself as if you have as if you have Tom Cruise clout or Tom Cruise money. Tom Cruise isn't getting leg lengthening surgery.
Yeah,
he doesn't need to either. He keeps the Apple Box companies in business. They make him look taller than he is in the movies. There's a couple of Andrew Garfield supporters here, but Toby is sitting strong with 67% there. I am Team Zendaya these days because she seems to stay out of the fray. No matter how much people complain about her, she doesn't seem to take the bait and let it. Yeah.
And I think she has a good sense of humor.
And I like her. I can't say that I think much of her as an actress.
I think she's great.
I like her in Euphoria. Looks the same to me as her in Spider-Man. She's
a drug addict in Euphoria.
Well,
she's a drug addict.
She's not a drug addict in Spider-Man. Why is she making the same facial expressions?
She does have this thing where she does with her lip. She does have that thing.
She's doing the same thing in the pictures from the Odyssey. She's going.
But a lot of actors have like a weird thing that they do that just comes off.
The men, what was it? Mary would talk about like how the male actors would try to smolder when they're taking photos, and it's like it just doesn't.
Well,
work.
like if your angry face just looks like is your angry face, how can you really can you adjust it too much? Even if
like Zendaya always looks mildly annoyed.
Yeah,
like that's not a recipe for like super. But the same thing is now people are praising Sydney Sweeney in The Housemaid. But Sydney Sweeney is also, in my opinion, not a good actress.
She's not a good character actor. She needs to stay in her lane of just being like drama.
Well, then
a drama hooker.
Then that's probably why The Housemaid works for her, because that's in her lane.
Exactly.
Of the domestic thriller.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's gonna be an interesting one. Broody Gambit on Rumble says Garfield's Peter seemed a little bit too confident and cool, but his demeanor as Spider-Man and the quipping was perfect. I mean, so Spider-Man, it's funny that Spider-Man and Batman are the two most popular characters because they kind of do both possess that same dichotomy where it's hard to master both. It's hard to master both Peter Parker and Spider-Man, just like it's hard to master Bruce Wayne and Batman. Most people will tell you they have a favorite Batman and a favorite Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I mean, because what else is there really? I mean, Superman's kind of boring in my opinion.
I mean, that's a lot of people's critique of the character.
Yeah,
I like it. He's wholesome. I love Smallville for that reason.
It's wholesome.
Broody Gambit says, I agree. Toby better Parker. Garfield was the better Spider-Man. I will say Tom Holland, I think, has the best blend. There you go.
Okay.
Somebody's saying that there's a mixture of the two. Real Data Please says, the way you carry yourself doesn't matter when you literally filtered out being seen on dating apps. So he's talking about the height thing. I mean, yeah, they like it's really funny that I've saw that some of them are going to re-add like height filters that people can use, but they should add weight filters then. If they want to add height filters, men should be able to filter for weight.
Just be able to stretch you.
Yeah.
That's it. So the whole body gets stretched.
Just like, so eventually you look like the Slender Man by the time you're done. In inverted world parlance.
You get longer and you lose weight.
Yeah. Yep. We got 20 here from Not That John Stewart. Toby is the better Peter. Andrew is the better Spider-Man. And Tom is a decent mix of the two. He has the same point there.
Okay.
There you go. I wish we could do watch-alongs on this channel. That'd
be fun.
That is like the biggest bummer.
That's the kind of podcast my husband would want to do because he loves movies and we love shows and stuff, but you can't do that if you can't play anything.
Yeah, I would love to be able to do watch-alongs. That would be a ton of fun.
They should at least have a website where like you can play all that kind of stuff for like a fee, you know?
I think some people do it. I think that you might be able to do it on Patreon if you have a Patreon. Like if you're running a Patreon, I think you might be able to do it on there. What did I just see here? Oh yeah, this one from Zentz. Lol, 100%. She needs to stay in her lane and just do drama. She's not good at anything else.
Who?
Sydney
Sweeney. Yeah, agreed.
Well, I also find it funny because she seems to be the quintessential theater kid when she comes to her movie selection. The role she takes. She wants
to be seen as someone who has range.
She wants to be seen as an auteur. She wants to be seen as somebody with range. But then her public persona is like a sledgehammer in how on the nose it is, which I find hilarious. It's very dichotomous. I find it interesting.
I do too. That's why I like watching her though.
All right. Sonic Hero says, I've heard that opinion before, and I think it's pretty true. I'm assuming they're talking about the Spider-Man stuff. Man, you guys are on point with all that. So far, Toby is winning still, 58%, but that's a pretty good blend between the two.
2020 and then
yep. Tom Cruise has the stall and open mouth thing like he's waiting for something to happen. Does he do that?
Yeah, he kind of does. Yeah, see, every actor has like it's just they can't help it. It's their face, you know. I mean, you can adjust your emotional range, but you can't really adjust like how your eyeballs look or how your nose is. Like
it's like Ryan Reynolds has his tics as Ryan Reynolds because he plays the same thing in every movie that he's in.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much again. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, everybody in the chat. We are very, very thankful for all of you that take the time out of your day to watch the channel, especially since things have been kind of up in the air lately. Those of you who take the time every day to tune in, it means the world to me. So thank you guys so much for that. I just want to give you guys a heads up again. Mary will be back tomorrow. Schedule is looking like for now it'll be Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. But we are going to be off the following week, so that is the 21st through the 26th. That Monday through Friday, we are off for Christmas, and then the following week I will be back starting on the 29th. I'm working, figuring out what to do with those shows. Alex is going to come back on Monday. Maybe we see if somebody else wants to come in and sit third chair. Colonel Kurtz will be on Tuesday that week. I'm hoping to have some other special guests lined up for all of you guys to watch that week. Again, I, for one, feel sad when a content creator that I watch, I get into my car every day, I go look at it, and if there isn't a new video there, I get bummed out. So I want to be able to contribute and give you guys as much content as possible. We will have segments and stuff coming out all throughout the time we are on break. And in that time period, there will be some solo ones that I made that are not connected to this show. So they are originals, not things clipped from this show. So make sure that you tune in for that. Watching those, liking the videos is always the best way to help the channel grow. When you like the videos, it tells the algorithm that you love this content and you want to see more of it. So thank you guys so much. We got one more here, I believe, from the Manic Mustache. Says, late as usual, but apropos to strong genes, you're not a real Puerto Rican if you don't own at least two pieces of jewelry that is adorned with the flag.
Oh, well.
So you have to have at least 2 pieces of Puerto Rican adorned jewelry.
Look, I'm a Puerto Rican Jew. I'm a bad Puerto Rican, and I'm a bad Jew. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you guys.
Like,
I don't wear jewelry. I don't have the Puerto Rican flags. I'm not into flags, whatever.
See, I lost out. I didn't end up with any problematic or controversial heritage. I'm Polish and Czech, and that's or in Croatian, and that's as boring as it gets.
I'm like controversial on all aspects of things here, so I don't know what to tell you. I'm a woman. I'm
that makes you our diversity hire.
I'm a podcaster, I guess. I don't know.
That makes you our diversity hire. If you are a Puerto Rican woman, you are immediately.
I'm happy to help.
Front of the line.
I gotta say, it's been a lot of fun hanging out with you, Brett. Coming into the studio, I love doing it. It's not always that easy. Podcasting is not easy. You guys say that all the time, but I love coming, talking about movies. And I'll just say, be safe out there. Have a great holiday. And I hope I'm back next week when we're on break, or not next week, the week after. Yeah. Come and hang out. And see you all then. Thanks so much.
Where can they find you on?
Oh, you can find me on I Am Alex Ayala on X.
Yep. All right, guys, if you want to follow me, I am on Instagram and X at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. Remember, PCC will be back tomorrow on Friday, off the week after, and then we will be back the week after that. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us and tuning in. It means it really does. I am going to continue to stress this to everybody because very, very few people have ever get the opportunity to do what I do for work, and I'm always going to be eternally grateful for that. So thank you so much. You can listen to the audio version of this podcast on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. If you would like to listen rather than just watch the show, you can also rate and review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, which is another great way you can help the channel out. And if you want to follow the show on social media, we are on Twix at popculture_show, Facebook at popculturecrisis, Instagram at popculturecrisisPod. Tobey Maguire is the winner of the Flash survey poll that we ran, guys. Tobey Maguire is the best Spider-Man. We have decided it. It has been decreed. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back with another episode tomorrow. We will see you then. Bye, everybody.